Oh, that's not good.
Right, we are underneath looking at steering rag bushes. What do you need? Back to my steering rack bushes. As you can see, I don't think these are bushing the way that they should be bushing. So I've got some on order, and I just need to take 2 bolts out on each side. Top and bottom look like 16s or 17s. Take the little clamps off, and then take the bushes off. But before I do that, let's give you an example of why we're doing this. Because when I turn the steering wheel, the whole rack is moving, which will definitely explain why my tracking changes the more I drive it. Right, Craig's gonna move the steering wheel, and you'll see my rack moving.
Should just start it up, yeah?
Yeah, make sure it's in first.
Steering lock's on. Where's the key?
I haven't got the key.
Is it on my house?
Might be down the house.
Is that enough or not enough?
Nah, it's not moving.
Alright.
Right, take 2. Right, take 2.
Ready?
Ready when you are. Oh yeah, that's quite a bit of movement there.
Well, the wheels are moving, that's a good thing.
The rack also moves a bit.
Yeah. Alright, I'll do, thanks. Yeah, so that's why we're changing these bushes. Let's get to it.
Yeah, you want to file? I took a look at my panel back in Wednesday to see where it was.
Yeah.
Nothing.
On Tuesday.
Right, so that's the bolt. The other bolt I'm getting from up the top, if I can focus. So I'm coming from the top for that one. 13mm on that one, because the bottom was a 16. So why wouldn't the top be a 13? Bottom bolt was a 16. Why wouldn't the top bolt be a 13, Craig?
I was expecting like a 26 or a 30.
Make it make sense. Make my camera focus on the right bolt. Right. And make me get the right tool.
This car can much bigger.
Right. With the correct tool, place your 13mm spanner on there.
I'm going to put the rest of the speaker rings on now.
Yeah. Now, if you might notice, if I zoom in a bit more and focus, if you watch, the whole bolt is spinning. Yay, the whole bolt is spinning, Craig.
Ah, great.
Which means I've got to try and do a 13mm from on top whilst holding the 16mm from underneath.
So I can just watch and laugh, yeah?
Yeah. So the next step is to reach into your toolbox and find yourself a Craig.
Yep. Which one am I doing?
Just stick your, just hold that 13 there.
Can you see it?
Yep, I got him.
Can you do it without a torch?
Yes.
I got him, I got him.
And I gotta try and find this.
It's like zoomed into your chin.
That was very nearly like an Only Fools and Horses chandelier moment then, where I was like starting to do the wrong bolt.
The whole car come down.
Yeah.
I'm on anyway.
Right, can you pull yours up?
Yeah?
Like, can you try and undo that a little bit? Is the whole bolt spinning?
I can't tell. I got no light.
Oh. Can you see it?
I think it's coming off.
Is it?
No, it's not. It's just spinning.
Oh, worrying me. This one isn't.
I'll check, but these threads just don't seem to be getting any smaller, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, this one's definitely not spinning up here, and it's the right bolt. So that means it's snapped.
Mine isn't moving. You sure it's the same bolt?
Well, it's got to be because I've undone the bottom one.
Mine doesn't look like. Mine looks like it should be not that far, like captive even. Yeah, Mike, you're definitely not doing the same one I'm doing.
Are you doing? Which one are you doing?
The top one you put it on. Yeah, you're doing something completely different to that.
I need this one, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't go through. It doesn't go like all the way through to where you are.
Doesn't it?
No. I can't see with the thing. No, it's got a, mate, you can do it from, yeah, it's got a thing on the back of it.
Oh, yeah.
It might be square though, rather than a nut, from what I can tell.
It's bad because the bottom one definitely does go through. Let me do this, whatever this one is, let me just nip it back up, man.
Yeah, it doesn't pass through. It might be a bit tricky getting on the back of it. I can't see what's on the back of it at the minute because there's not enough light.
Let me see if I can see it.
No, you're better off doing it for me. Oh, it's a nut on the back. You'll be able to do that.
Is there a 13?
Either 13 or 15.
Okay. I'll come back up and have a look.
Yeah. Definitely doesn't pass through.
I'll get another 13mm spanner then.
You can't quite see it on there. Can you see it?
Ah, yeah, I can see it.
I don't know what you were doing.
I think I was undoing the bolt that held the bracket to the...
Definitely that one.
Right, back with another tool. Right. So I got a stubby 13. It needs to go on the back of this. Like that, perfect. And I've got my ratchet 13. I thought Reynolds was supposed to be easy to work on, you know. Right, that is the passenger side mount off. You can see the bush in there. Now I'm going to try and get the driver's side one off. And the bolt is just there. So I've got to do it from underneath because the turbo's in the way. Quiet on set!
Why taking this tire off and go up? That is friggin' tight.
So I gotta try and get this one off, so let's go. Right, I did have to take the downpipe off again, which I'm not pleased about because I hate putting that thing back on. But I've managed to get the top bolt up here out with the use of a deep 13 and then a crow foot over the back to get to the back bolt. And now this should theoretically come off. Like that. So now I should be able to pull the rack out ever so slightly and get these bushes out. That they're no longer bushing. Right, just gonna try and get this bush out now. As you can see, not putting up much of a fight. But the rack is a little bit loose, which is handy. I I can just then pull it out, I hope. Right, as you can see, that is a bit pushed. Right, now it's time to get this side out. Using the same method, hopefully. I'm slightly disadvantaged with that. Ah, there we go. That should come up right on. Ah, there we go. Slightly disadvantaged with the gear linkage in this way. But I don't know if I can slide around here. That's the other one out. Alright, now we got both bushes out. This is the passenger side one, which isn't too bad considering these are going to be the original bushes off the car. They're not too bad. This one, which is a thinner bush anyway out of the factory, and I'll just flash up on the screen what they look like. It's a thinner bush anyway. That's obviously seen better days, isn't it? So wait for new ones to arrive. Get the dog bone bush out of that ready as well. In fact, I might just loosen it so that the engine just isn't swinging, because I got to move this car back as well. But and then put that all back together, and we should have a little bit of a tighter front end, and my steering shouldn't have adjustable tracking, dynamic tracking, whilst I'm going down a French motorway. So yeah, blink of an eye for you. I'm going to have to wait a couple of days on this bank holiday money to get some parts for it, but get in there. Hopefully have less dynamic tracking whilst I'm going down French roads and wondering why my steering's gone from this to this after I go over every bump. And my gear linkage as well should be stiffened up by the dog bone mount so that the engine isn't swinging like this. And should be a little bit of a nicer drive. Whilst I'm waiting for the parts, and whilst Craig's pottering with this, the biggest bodged Audi A4 I think we've ever seen, I am gonna get the intercooler out of the 19 because like I said, I've got a feeling that it's not intercoolings. I got a feeling it's gonna be in the same state that the radiator was when I took that out. The Haynes manual says take the front bumper off. I've already looked at the front bumper bolts. That ain't happening. So lots of things that this says that I'm not gonna do. There's gonna be lots of cutting, and there's gonna be lots of pry barring and heave hoeing just to get it out, and then the new one will be going in any old way because some of the support structures holding it in are not in the best of condition. So yes, I don't know how much of this I'll be able to film. It might just cut to me taking the intercooler out and going from there. So let's get cracking. Oh, maybe there. Oh. It's a intercooler. A very knackered intercooler. I don't know if you can see that, but it ain't no way of getting through that whatsoever.
There's no coolant fins left either, is there?
It's not like Mighty Carmos, when they play their harp. Should sound like this. Shit. But this one sounds like this. Okay, so that's all the intercooler out of his little hole. All of my boost pipes, airbox, my grills, all out. So I just need to find the replacement intercooler now.
So I'm thinking either like a Scenic or a Megane, Mark 1 Megane, Mark 1 Scenic turbo diesel intercooler, or maybe even a Renault 5 GT turbo intercooler. So I'm going to get on the Tinterwebs and see what I can find. But yeah, let's, I guess, cut to me in the future. Hi, future Mike. What? Next day, because of magic of editing, I've got, is it next day? No, 2 days.
Next day, 2 days. 2 days
2
later.
days later. Through the magic of editing, I've got parts for the 19. Should we go through what parts we got? So if you remember, what I needed was steering rack bushes. I needed an intercooler solution and a dog bone mount. So what we got? Steering rack bushes from Autodoc, which cost like £3.50 delivered, £8 delivered with delivery. So brand new ones, right part numbers, thick one, thin one. So that's good. They're those. I've got found these in the shed that I bought from Euro Rotbox like a year ago for like 90 pence. Anti-roll bar bushes. So might get around to fitting those at some point as well. But I brought them just in case. And then we got a new old stock Phoebe Bilstein dog bone mount, which was about £12 off the bay. Bit of a battered box, but I think it's obviously been around for a couple of years. Now, intercoolers. I couldn't actually find an intercooler for this car without ordering one from Spain for like £190, which I'm not going to do. I looked at other solutions. What do I look at, Greg? Renault 5 GT Turbo ones, Scenic, a Renault Scenic, Mark 1 Megane TDI, all very similar. The Renault 5 GT Turbo looked the most similar, but as you can imagine, equally as rare. I could find a lot of uprated aluminium ones for like £150. Again, I'm not spending that much money. The Scenic and the Megane ones were just a bit too different to be worthwhile, and they were like £90 as well, I think.
You're much more expensive than me.
So then I started looking at other options, and I found that a Citroen Berlingo HDI 1.6 HDI intercooler had the same outputs on the top of the intercooler, but it was a bit taller, so it might have stuck out the top and stuck out the bottom. Could have gone one of those like £20, but it was a bit of a gamble, and I haven't really got time to be gambling with stuff. So I went for the next best thing, which is a bit of a future-proof decision, so that if I do end up stripping the car for parts at some point, I can reuse some of it in other applications. See where I'm going? So what I've ended up with is a very practical, massive front mount intercooler, which was cheap, £50. I think that's pretty decent. From a place called TX Autosport. Like this, TX Autosport. And it came next day delivery. I had the two couplers, 2.5 to 2 1/4 couplers, because these are 2.5 and the rest of the car is 2 1/4. I also had a fit-in kit and the intercooler for like £70 delivered. Next day delivery. So I was well happy with that. So this is going to be hanging off the front of the car. What are we thinking? Are we just thinking there?
Shouldn't it just hanging off the front of the car? Shouldn't it doing is to hang it up?
A number plate delete.
It's completely blocking your radiator.
Yeah. So that is going to be today's plan, is try and get this fitted if the weather holds out, because it's not supposed to be raining, given the typical Welsh weather.
It is raining.
It is raining. But this is decent quality as well. You know, some good welds. It's got little noggins on the top for fitting and hanging and stuff. So I'm looking forward to absolutely butchering this onto the car. I should have bought like a universal fitting height kit for this, but what I got instead is a big broken bucket of pipes
And a bottle of Coke.
and a bottle of Coke. Oh, and some very fresh micro clamps because of all the boosts that she'll be providing. Now, I'm sure there's going to be lots of comments about how much power I'm going to lose. But I really don't care.
No.
It's going to have a big front mount on it.
Yeah.
I'll say that until I'm like struggling to go up hills with all.
Actually, I think though, when you're going through the Alps, you get less reduction in power doing that.
Yeah.
You would if you had the other intercooler. You know? So
Yeah.
If you did a straight power on a dyno, yes, probably less, but overall, you'd have more sustainability.
Sustainability.
Yeah.
And just as a reminder, That is the state. I don't know if that's focusing.
Yeah, there's
Cameraman.
yeah.
That is the state of my existing intercooler.
Core thickness is the same as well on both in originally. Slightly thicker on the original.
But I probably got 2.
And by the time you take the extra boost lines into consideration as well.
Yeah, I think it'll.
But you can even see through that one.
Yeah, at least you can see through this one. It means air will go through it. Let's get all these bits fitted then. If the rain holds out, yeah? Wish us luck. Oh, also, the pièce de la résistance. The pièce de la résistance is a very expensive
Sounding.
yeah. Renault Racing Blue air filter that we originally bought to try and put on our 1.9 TDI Scenic.
Yes. Yes.
But it wouldn't fit. So let's see if it's this.
We can make it work.
We'll make it work. I wonder if this will do the
Well, then this did.
like that. Like we pointed at an Audi A4 that Craig might or might not be taking, and I might even edit that bit out. This is a surprise.
Club.
Let's get a work. So I got the radiator out. Kind of. So this, why don't I put it that way? You know, it slots in there, but then there's also under the pipes. So if I had it out a bit like that,
But I would look at how far back you can mount this successfully. If you can mount that back so far by yourself, then you'll have, what room you got for that.
yeah,
It's easy to not jump on a bracket out, won't it? So I try and look at how far back you can mount that.
that's probably further back than it can go. Because I'm hamstring. That's probably,
Yeah, but could you still get that gap over there, or there could get one? Can you like jimmy it so it's?
yeah, that's as far back as I'll go. Maybe.
Could you then mount the intercooler to like?
I might have to change that pipe.
Do you mean that intercooler? If you could put that in there, then you've got a gap out there. You've almost got a gap through there.
Yeah, I'd have to kind of get it around there with like.
What pipe doesn't that? Is that the old block that's off? Is it the return?
If anyone complains there's only water in this radiator, environmentalists.
Cool. Haribo and Coca-Cola.
You know, that is the diet of mechanical champions. So say it is right here.
It's like first aid kits, isn't it?
Huh?
First aid kits, isn't it?
Yes. Rad. Second time this has been out. Okay, update. I haven't done a lot of filming of this because I've been too busy in thinking mode, but it's not pretty, boys and girls. But we've got a front mount mounted. The radiator I've had to push back to make room, and then through a series of what can only be described as bodges, we've mounted an intercooler using some Volkswagen parts, some original Renault parts, some joiners and some pipes. So I've kind of loosely mounted it, and then the next task is to get this thing, and it's kind of going to go in this gap here for maximum hot air. But we've got a nice little gap there where the intercooler used to be, and I'm going to try and mount a little bit of a cold air intake just to try and get some cool air in there, and maybe a bonnet vent. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? So I got to take all this out. I know where everything's going to go. Got to take it all out. Jubilee clip everything. Michael will clamp the bits that I think are a bit weak. So all of it. And then I got to bear in mind, this has got like friggin' 12 PSI a boost probably. So it's got 90 horsepower. I doubt it's going to set the world on fire. And it was renowned for its lag anyway. I've just probably doubled it with this. So it's probably going to be undrivable. Have I made it worse? Yes. Yes. Is it cool? Absolutely yes. Will it make like stu-tu-tu noises? Absolutely not. But I don't care, because I found a solution to my problem without spending an awful lot of money. So we got there in the end. Let's put it all back together. Properly. Boom. Right. I've taken everything out. I've Jubilee clipped everything up. And this is currently it all plumbed in. And how it sits. Put a little bracket there to stop it from colliding with the rad. All the rad is plumbed in. I've had to trim this a little bit because the way that the radiator's moved. Bottom hose is plumbed in. Air filter's plumbed in. All the Jubilee clips are done up tight. Put some micro clamps on these points because they're kind of the weak point on a bend. Other than that, it's pretty solid. Rad doesn't move. The only thing I need to find a solution for is my power steering reservoir. I'm thinking if I cut this pipe a little bit shorter, I then should be able to kind of mount this behind the headlight down there with like a Jubilee clip around it or something. But I'm half tempted to see whether or not it runs on its side.
As long as it doesn't boil over, I think it does.
Yeah. And as long as it's full, like, that's still going to be above the fluid level.
You just take some with us, and then if it does empty, you shorten the pipe.
Yeah.
And then pull it back.
I am going to get, so there's a Volkswagen pipe here that comes off the bottom hose and it's a little bit crimped. So I am going to get a proper 90-degree hose for that. But for now, it should be fine. Yeah. So that's where I am on it now. I still haven't done the steering rack bushes and I still haven't done the dog bone mount, but that should take me, an hour. So I'll probably end up doing that tomorrow now because it's getting quite late. I'm tired and I've just had my driveway poured. Driveway! So I'm looking forward to getting this on my driveway and other projects that I can piss my neighbours off with. So yeah, next up is steering rack bushes and the dog bone mount. Anything else I've got to do on it, Craig?
Test it.
Drive it then and see how much lag that I've just introduced. I just think it's so funny just seeing that intercooler just poking out. There. I put one of the grills back in to see whether I wanted the grill back in. I think I do want the grill back, but so far it's sitting pretty. It looks a bit mad. And I'm very interested to see the performance of it, whether I improved it or, as we suspect, made it worse.
But the airflow on the intercooler was definitely bad.
Oh, yeah. I was like, there are some
airflow.
Yeah, check this out. See, there's no airflow getting through there anyway, so he wasn't doing any coolings. But if I can show you down here, that is completely blocked. So I don't think it was just going in this way and straight back out there. I don't think it was doing anything. So, yeah, whether or not I've introduced some lag by putting this massive intercooler in the front. The bonnet does shut as well. We've tested it. Interesting to see how it sounds.
72 hours later.
Welcome back to Under the 19 that keeps on 19ing. I haven't filmed any of this because it's getting late and dark and it's after work and I just want to go to bed. But steering rack bushes, I've now turned my light off. Steering rack bushes in, nice and new. Nice new dog bone mount is also in as well. So just need to get the exhaust back on.
Okay.
And then she's ready to drive, lads. Well, I hope you can hear me because she started and she's pretty loud. Well, she started. Looking a bit mad. But she's going. There she goes. She is all plumbed in. Just topping the water up. I just need to try and sort this out. I think it might be okay like this. I think it might be fine like this. As long as it doesn't tip over too much. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, she's getting there. Craig, you setting fire to this yet?
Yeah, but you can have it. Every lot before that.
He said every job is a struggle.
Why can't I?
Why is that?
I mean, what? I'm mad.
That's done good.
Right. Welcome back to a running and driving Renault 19. Ish. All is not good in the land of Renault 19 at the minute. Good news that we've got is the intercooler's done. The steering rack bushes are done. And the dog bone mount is done. And it's back on its wheels. And it's running, driving. We are good to go. However, there's a bit of a kicker. I think the clutch is dead. Or more specifically, I think the clutch release bearing is dead. Because I'm finding it very, very difficult to find gears at the minute. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard, and I don't like it. So I think there's only one solution for it, and that's to take the gearbox out and replace the clutch. I've got less than 2 weeks until we leave for our 3,000-mile trip to Croatia and back. The last thing I want to be doing at the minute is doing a clutch in a knackered old Renault 19. But if that's what it takes, guys and gals and sports fans, if that's what it takes, then that's what we do. I think that's enough heartache for this episode. So join me next time to find out whether or not I can get this thing into a good enough shape to drive me 3,000 miles around Europe. Will it make it? Won't it make it? We'll have to wait and see, right?